Welcome to Unit 15, Adding with 3 Addends. The focus of this video is to help with the associative and commutative properties for adding 3 addends. We're going to start off with the commutative property, which is the first due within this unit. So if we look at the problem given above, 3 plus 1 plus 2, we may look at that and think, is there a way that I could kind of order those differently to make it easier for me to add? So when I think about that, I realize, and we hope students realize, that they should know from kindergarten what addends make 5. And so then I could put my 3 plus 2 plus 1. So then I would want to represent 3 on my 10 frame. And then I would represent adding the 2, which I should know that complete my top of the 10 frame because that is 5. And then one more, which would give us 6. We could also look at this on a number bond and think about if I have 3, and then I would want my 2 as my add-in second, and then my 1 as my final add-in. And then when I put that together and think of that as a organize it as in a 10 frame, I can see that that gives me 6 as a sum. All right, let's look at some larger numbers. So if I have 8 plus 4 plus 2, once again, we want our students to start looking at these numbers. Is there anything that's friendly that I could put together? And I realize that 8 and 2 make a 10. So I'd want to rewrite that and change the order so that it's 8 plus 2 plus 4. So then once again, I would represent 8 on my 10 frame, which is going to be my first row completely filled in and 3 more. Then I would add on my second adding, which is 2 1s, which should complete my 10 frame because I know 8 and 2 make 10, and then add on 4 more, which would give me a sum of 14. Once again, I can carry that over to my number bond if I have 8 here, and then I would want my second add-in to be 2 and my final add-in to be 4, and then I can combine these to make a group of 10, and then 4 more, which would give us 14. Now, students can also draw this out as they move. You definitely want to move them from the concrete to pictorial, so give them opportunity to start drawing this. They can draw their own little 10 frames or little dots down below to kind of, and then make groups of 10 to help determine that, the sum for that. So now, let's look at the associative property. The associative property deals with grouping numbers. And so I start looking here and I start looking at those and I think, you know what, I can really add 3 plus 2 quicker than 4 plus 3. So I would think of 3 plus 2, I know is 5. So I would represent 5 here. And then I want to add my 4 more on, and that would give me a sum of 9. If I look here at my number bond, once again I want to group 3 and 2 together, which is 5. And then my next add-in would be 4, and when I put that together, you can see that gives me 9. We also want to remind students and let them see that this can be turned a different way as well, so make sure you expose students to that. We also want to make sure students look at problems vertically as well. And so now I have 8 plus 6 plus 5. And so what I really want to think about is how can I decompose this? I can't make 10 really out of anything that's there, but I can think of this 6 as a 5 and a 1. And so then if I go ahead and realize that that 5 plus 5 is going to give me 10, I can completely fill up my top 10 frame. And then I can add on 1 more to complete my 6 plus 5 would be 11, and then I would need 8 more, so that's 4 plus 4 more, and I can see that that gives me a sum of 19. I could also use my number bond as well for that. So I would think of having 10 of those here, because once again, as I decompose the 6, I see 5 and 5 is 10, and then I would add on the 1 and the 8, which is 9, which would give me, when I combine it, a sum of 19.